So the next thing we got to do is machine these end bells, and the challenging part is going to be figuring out how to hold them. I think I can set this up in the 4-jaw chuck like this and hold this one, and we'll see about this one. Okay, we got the flange machined to the thickness on the drawing, and then we machined the step here that fits inside of our bore, and we want that to be a pretty good tight fit, and it fits on there good. So one thing I did notice when I was facing this off, the way I have this set up with the 4-jaw, we can't bore this out on the ID here, which it needs to be bored out, so we'll have to set that up a different way to bore that out. But we can go ahead and bore and ream the center here for the bushing, so that way we know that this is perpendicular to this face here for our shaft to run straight. So we'll go ahead and set that up and do that. So to machine these end bells, to hold them in the chuck, I'm going to make a fixture like Tublicane did, and I found a piece of scrap metal. It's pretty rough. It's been cut out with a hole saw. So we're going to turn the OD of this round, and then we'll have to drill the hole a little bit bigger so that this will fit through there. And then we're going to mill a slot, 2 slots, this way and this way in there for these crossbars here. So this will sit down in there, and this will set flat against there, and then we can put it in the 3-jaw chuck, and this will act like a chuck spider. We might have to put a parallel behind it to get our distance right here. We can flush this up against there and then clamp it with the 3-jaw chuck, and that'll allow us to machine it. So I got the hole bored out in the center, and then I faced the end just to make sure that it was perpendicular to our bore. And now I'm going to cut 2 slots in it, 90 degrees apart. And this piece happened to actually have center lines scribed on it already. So I'm going to do this in the horizontal mill. It could be done with an end mill. That's one of the challenges of having a combo lathe mill machine. You got to tear the lathe down to use the mill. So I have a horizontal mill. We're going to use that to cut the slot. I got a 5/16 cutter in here. Let's do it. So this is what we ended up with. The horizontal mill made pretty quick work of the slots. It's a 1944 model, so it was around during World War II, but it still makes good parts. So you can see how the end bell fits in here. And then I got a couple of parallels in here to set the depth. We can set this in here, push it against the parallels. Pull the parallels out. and we're ready to start machining. So I got the end bells machined now and drilled and reamed for the bushing. Still got to go back and machine this one out on the ID here, and then we still got holes to drill, but let's see how it fits. Looking good. But the true test is to see if they're lined up with each other. So I got a 1/4 inch transfer punch. Looks good. So the next thing we'll do after machining this out on the ID, we got to drill 4 mounting holes here, and then we've got to drill a hole here for the mounting lug. Then we've got to drill these 4 holes and then tap this. Same thing on this side, drill these 4 holes and tap the body. Okay, we got the base set up in the milling machine now to drill these holes through this and into this to tap them. I've got it set up in my Smitty. It's a Granite 1220 LTD. This could certainly be done in a drill press, but I have retrofit DRO on this. I don't have a bolt circle function, but I've got X and Y, so I've got my vise trammed in so I can find the center and set her 0, 0, and then I can just translate where I need for the holes. And then I've got some vise stops set up so we can flip this and stay on center. And I've got the centering or coaxial indicator in here to find the center, and I've got it within about 1/1000th of the center. So we'll zero that out, get this on here, and start drilling the holes. So I got the rest of the holes drilled. And spot faced and drilled the hole through the top. So the next thing we need to do is tap these 4 holes on each end, and that gives me a chance to try out my new tool. I built a hand tapper the other day. It's a drill chuck and there's a couple of bearings in here, and it's adjustable up and down. Then I've got a small knob on the top and a spring to help lift it up. So it should help with the small taps to keep them straight and keep from breaking them. if you, anything that's small, like this is a 348 tap, if it goes sideways, it's going to break. Let's see how it works. Worked pretty good. And no broken taps. So I'll go ahead and tap the rest of the holes. The next step will be to push these bushings into the end bells. And I've got it set up in the 1/2 ton arbor press here. And the bushings push in flush to the inside. So we'll see how this goes. Looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and push the other one in. And now we can assemble it with the armature.